written testing and evaluation part also. Now, if you look at this, one word substitutes, the definition part, sometimes it is possible to express the idea of a phrase or even a clause with just one word. So, idea of a phrase or even a clause that can be expressed only with one word. Okay, you will come to know what are those phrases, what are those clauses when we actually study these one word substitute. One word substitutes enrich the knowledge of vocabulary with special reference to reading comprehension, clause tests, and other vocabulary test patterns followed in most of the competitive examinations. Please switch off that microphone, 135. You are creating all the nonsense. Please switch off your microphone. Who else? Who else? Whose microphone is on? Constantly there is some noise or the other throughout the class. Somebody did not switch off your microphone. Switch it off. Straight away switch it off. Don't waste my time. Hey, what wrong? Amatrisha, are you there in the group?
Yes, yes, sir.
Whose microphone is on? Who is creating all that noise? Because I have switched on the share. 317, switch off your microphone. 317, switch off your microphone. 317. Everyone K and Undakada. Switch it off. See, constantly they are making noise. 132. Who is 132? 118. 132, 118.
Soumya, sir.
Huh?
132, Soumya, sir.
Okay, Soumya has switched off. 118. Who is 118?
Prakash Teja.
Hey, Prakash Teja, switch off your microphone. Prakash Teja, switch off your microphone. Okay. 317. Who is 317? I think that fellow Prakash Teja.
Pawan, sir. 317.
317, switch off your microphone, Pawan. What Prakash Teja, it was all coming, and I think now it is much peaceful. It is heaven of peace now. There are minimum common sense. They keep creating, disturbances till the end of the class. They don't even check their microphones properly. And whatever happens in their home, it will be publicly, audible and visible to everybody. Not visible, audible to everybody. Right. So, everybody, M4 to switch off. Huh. So, one word substitutes, they will enrich the knowledge of vocabulary with special reference to. Create this noise. 317, switch off your microphone. అదే మేడం చేసేయాలి ఇంకా నేను షేర్ స్క్రీన్ లో పెట్టుకున్నాను. Hey idiot, who is that? Whose microphone is on? Senseless fellows, nonsensical fellows, have some sense. Nitin, switch off your microphone. Look at this disturbance. One word substitutes, they enrich the knowledge of vocabulary with special reference to reading comprehension, clause tests, and other vocabulary test patterns. You see, in the place of one sentence, we can write one sentence, one phrase or expression. I'll continue with this one. మళ్ళా వాళ్ళందరూ లాగౌట్ అయ్యి లాగిన్ అయ్యి వీళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు పడుకొని లేచింటారు మరి ఇప్పుడే రిపబ్లిక్ డే కదా సడన్ మేడం ఇప్పుడు టైం ఎంత మేడం 9:50 ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళా వాళ్ళు లాగౌట్ అయ్యి లాగిన్ అయ్యి అమ్మా వద్దులేదు మేడం అయ్యో మేడం నో 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 ఓకే Prezi writing, all of you might be knowing Prezi writing. Maybe in your 10th standards intermediate classes, you must have studied Prezi writing. What do you do in Prezi writing? You will reduce the number of words, reduce the number of sentences, so that without losing the gist, the sense, the summary of the passage of the text, you will still rewrite the text in your own words by reducing the number of words or sentences. So one word substitutes will help you for such things. Imagine you want to reduce the length of the text. One word substitutes will be immensely, richly beneficial for that. Okay. Now, here is a list of common one word substitutes in English. Naina, evaru vallu? Again, somebody switched on. Just now I switched off everything.
వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారుగా ఇట్లా
Okay. Now, let us go and see these one word substitutes one by one, beginning from the alphabet or letter A. Abdicate is to give up a throne voluntarily. That is called abdicating. To give up a throne voluntarily. Am I audible to everybody? Because I muted everyone.
Sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, audible.
Thank you. So imagine a chief minister has committed some sort of scam. The chief minister himself voluntarily comes forward to resign his position. That is called as to give up a throne voluntarily. Abdicated his CM position. He abdicated his PM position. If there is some problem, if there is some scam, when the incumbent meaning a person holding a position, when he himself voluntarily comes forward to surrender the position, that's called abdicating. Next one is aborigines, original
Sir,
inhabitants.
can I give one example, sir?
Yes, please. Yes.
Sir, at the time when Lal Bahadur Shastri sir was railway minister at Tamil Nadu, accident taken place, no, sir, railway accident. He voluntarily given his post, railway minister, he resigned.
Exactly. Yes, that means they relinquish the post voluntarily. They actually give up their post voluntarily without somebody or without opposition parties demanding for it or protesting it. Now, aborigines, original inhabitants of a place. Original inhabitants of a place are known as aborigines. We can also take maybe tribal people as aborigines, people who belong to a particular place. Aborigines, original inhabitants of a place. They have moved from gypsies, nomads, vagabonds, fugitives. Write down all these four synonyms. Gypsies, nomads, vagabonds, fugitives. Meaning they don't live in one permanent place. They keep changing their places from one place to the other. So their tents.
Sir, can you repeat once again, sir?
Fugitive, F-U-G-I-T-I-V-U, fugitive. Okay. Vagabond, V-A-G-A-B-O-N, vagabond, vagabond. Fugitive,
Yes,
nomad, next one is nomad.
Yes, sir.
Last one is, what is the other one? Gypsy,
Gypsy.
G-Y-P-S-Y, gypsy. All these are synonyms for, you might have seen old times there was a van by name Gypsy, a Maruti van by name Gypsy. That was a very famous van usually used by policemen, cops. So these gypsies, they don't live in a particular place, in a permanent place all the time. They keep changing their place of living. In the same fashion, imagine a particular tribe they have moved from one place to the other. However, we call them as aborigines of a particular place. They actually come from this place, is what we call them. Aborigines is that. Next one is alimony. Alimony, financial support to ex-wife. Financial support to ex-wife. Imagine a couple they are divorced. A couple is divorced, and the husband is supposed to still provide financial support to his ex-wife. So the monetary benefits or the financial support that is provided to his ex-wife is called as alimony. Alimony. Next one, ambidextrous. This we have already seen, but still we are studying it again. A person who is able to use both hands with equal skill. A person who is able to use both hands with equal skill. Ambi meaning both, dexterity, using the hands. So ability to use both the hands is called as ambidextrous. Next one, adolescence. Adolescence. The period between childhood and adulthood is called as adolescence. So we have got childhood. We also have adulthood. Imagine childhood is still 11 years or 12 years. Adulthood, it can go on till 40, 50 years also. Later on, you have that is old age, senior citizens. Adulthood, even senior citizens for that matter. But adolescence is the period that is between childhood and adulthood. Generally, we call this as teenage. You know, you are 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, the teen age group. That's the reason we call it as teenage. So that period is known as adolescence, right? Which is of your age. You are all now in that adolescence. Yes or no, all of you? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Aggressor. A person who attacks first. Aggressive, aggressor. What is the meaning of this aggression? Aggression is like your hot-headed nature, short-tempered, bad-tempered, ill-tempered nature, grumpy, cantankerous nature. I've given again how many synonyms? Not less than 7 synonyms I've given. Hot-tempered, bad-tempered, short-tempered, ill-tempered. Meaning a person who is very aggressive, he attacks first. Best example I can give now is if you have been watching AP politics, Kodali Nani, the minister there is of high, controversy. He's into, high level controversies for various reasons. Of course, we all know that. We have been watching this on televisions and people have been, bad mouthing each one. They have been using unparliamentary language all the time. But you can see the aggression there, meaning, you see, people call best offense is defense. Best defense is offense. And that's what I see in all these, political leaders or ministers. Best defense is offense. That means if I have to protect myself, I will have to keep throwing mud on the opposite person all the time. మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా ఇంగ్లీష్? నన్ను నేను డిఫెండ్ చేసుకోవాలంటే ఎదుటి వ్యక్తిని అది blame game or mud slinging. Write down both the words. Blame game. They keep playing the blame game. These are all from Hindu newspaper. Blame game. Otherwise, mudslinging, MUDSLINGING, mudslinging. Mudslinging అంటే బురద జల్లడం, తెలుగు, pure Telugu. So if I have to defend myself, I keep offending the opposite person. I first of all say, you are wrong, you did that, you did this. Then the person will be in defense. So when I offend the opposite person, that person will be in defense. Therefore, he will not dare to offend me. So this is all the blame game that has been happening all these days. Aggressor made me to bring in all those examples for your easy understanding, because the moment you switch on the TV, Kodala Nani is whom you see nowadays.
TRS and BJP.
Yeah, TRS and BJP. You see all the time Bandi Sanjay, and I don't want to name the people. All the time there will be somebody or the other blaming one another, scolding one another, bad mouthing one another. Bad mouth
Usually happens in
politics most of the time. Yeah, because you are a politician, you know that very well. Exactly.
Sir.
Right. Next one. Amateur, one who pursues some art or sport as hobby. So one who pursues some art or sport as hobby, that's called as amateur. Now, amateur is
Sir,
yeah,
a person with lack of skill can also be termed as
amateur.
amateur.
Exactly. I was about to say that. I mean, it can also be the opposite of a professional, expert, master, specialist. Amateur can also be a fresher. A fresher can also be an amateur. But at the same time, one who pursues some art or sport as hobby is also amateur.
Okay, sir.
I hope
people listening songs.
Huh?
Like hobbies, business people listening to songs, music.
Yes. But amateur is more to do with, please write it as a fresher rather than expert, master, or specialist. Please write it as fresher, amateur. I don't want you to please write this definition that is given here for amateur. Write the meaning as fresher, and it is the opposite of master, specialist, or expert. I repeat, master, specialist, or expert. Shall I go to the next one with your permission, all of you? Shall I go to the
Yes,
next
sir.
slide? Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Amphibian. Amphi is both a land animal that breeds in water, or the best example that I can give here is, the moment we think about amphibian, what is the creature that comes to our memory? Frog. It can live both on the land as well as in the water. It can survive on the land. It can also survive in the water. Amphi, both Greek words. Bios, life. Ability to live in both the places. That is both on the land and in the water. That's called as amphibian. Right. Ambiguity. An expression or statement that has more than one meaning. Ambiguous. Double meaning. No clarity. Confusion is ambiguity. No clarity is ambiguity. I think this statement is very ambiguous, is what people say. What do you mean? What do they mean by that? The statement is very confusing. There is no clarity in the statement. That is called as ambiguity. An expression or statement that has more than one meaning. Double meaning. Not inappropriate. Inappropriate is different. You cannot compare inappropriate with ambiguity. See, appropriate synonyms are relevant, suitable, pertinent, apt. These are all synonyms for appropriate. Whereas inappropriate, of course, is something that is not pertinent, not relevant, not suitable, not apt. All these synonyms, all these antonyms. Coming to ambiguity, it is confusing, double meaning. There is no clarity in the statement. It is very confusing. That's called as ambiguous, ambiguity. Right. Aristocracy, aristocrat. Who is an aristocrat? People of noble families are the highest social class. Also, government of a country by a small group of people, especially hereditary nobility. That's called as aristocracy. That means aristocrats, you have the suitcase company that's called aristocrats. We call people of high social class as aristocrats. For example, King Charles or Queen Elizabeth. These are all aristocrats. They come from noble families, They are of highest social class. Probably we can also call Dhirubhai Ambani, Mukesh Ambani, and Anil Ambani as aristocrats because they belong to noble families. They also come from very high social class. I mean, they're in terms of their finance, in terms of their business, in terms of their, social public relations, influence, whatever we call. Also, government of a country by a small group of people, especially hereditary nobility. Now, this is where you can take the blazing example is King Charles or Queen Elizabeth. So from the king and queen, the power is now flowing to the other family members. That is called an aristocracy. Aristocracy. Right. Now, let me go to the next example. Atheist. Atheist. So first of all, before you know the meaning of atheist, you should also know the meaning of theist. 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 Theist comes from the word theology. Theo is God. Logos is study. Greek words. Studying God is theology. So there are so many studies programs about that. Master of Theology, Bachelor of Theology. There are so many courses, especially with reference to Christian doctrine. Okay. Now, theist, theist is one who believes in God. Please write down. Theist, theist is one who believes in God. The opposite of theist is atheist. 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 A person who does not believe in God or deities. Deities. Deities are, different kinds of, family gods. People call it as, their hereditary gods and goddesses. These people are deities. Kula devatalu leda atla cheptaru vaatni deities ante. Okay, right. Autobiography. Autobiography. Now, again, these are all Greek words. Auto is self. Bio is life. Graph is picture. Let me give you the meanings again. Auto is self. Bio is life. Graph is picture. When an account of a person's life written by that person himself. Best example, Mahatma Gandhi.
Wings of Fire.
Yeah, Wings of Fire, of course, APJ Abdul Kalam. That is his autobiography. My Experiments with Truth, Mahatma Gandhi. That is also one of the autobiographies. He wrote it himself. Mahatma Gandhi wrote it himself. And that's called as My Experiments with Truth. Or as Jendra said just now, Wings of Fire written by APJ Abdul Kalam. Autobiography. But knowing the meanings of these words is auto, self, bio, life, graph, picture. So the self picture that is written by that person is called as autobiography. Autobiography. Next one, anarchist. Anarchist. So who is an anarchist? A person who rejects the need for a system of government in society and proposes its abolition. Such a person is known as anarchist. Tomorrow, I don't think we have any class. Saturday, Friday. Again, Saturday is when we have our class. Today is 28th, 27th, 28th, 29th. What I am planning is, shall I send all these one-word substitutes? Shall I put this in the, Mexcivil group? All these slides in the Mexcivil group? What do you say?
Your wish, sir.
I will also put this in. We will discuss it in the classroom also on Saturday because there are so many one-word substitutes. Again, Saturday we have got 2 hours class. So probably what I'm planning to do is instead of working on only one particular topic, I want to do a sort of question bank discussion. Question bank discussion because you are supposed to write your mid exams. So what I will do is I will open the question bank and I will discuss the important questions with special reference to regard to or respect to, for example, communication skills, listening, speaking, or for example, with special reference to these phrasal verbs, one-word substitutes, or idioms and phrases, or root words. So all the word formation, most importantly, because there will be definitely a question on. Always remember word formation. Write down all of you. Word formation, definitely there will be a question. I'm now giving you the important questions. Write down on a piece of paper. Everybody. If anybody is absent, share these questions with others. Number 1, word formation. Definitely there will be a question. Short answer or long answer, whatsoever. As far as I have seen the question papers since 2019. Then number 2, Communication skills, there will be definitely a question. That means, what are the 5 elements of communication? Sender, receiver, channel, feedback, okay, text. Definitely 5 elements of communication. They might also ask you about to comment on each element. Sender mida, they might ask you to write on sender or receiver or feedback or channel or text or message, any one of these things. Important questions. I'm giving important questions. Please make a note, everybody. Sudhendra, Trisha, sincere students, you first of all make a note so that you can pass it on to those who are sitting in the back benches, who are sleeping, who are not writing properly, all those things. Okay, next question. Next question. Listening skills, there will be definitely a question. Listening skills. Number 1, they will ask you, what is the process of listening? Process of listening, like receiving, understanding, comprehending, analyzing, all the steps of listening, they will ask you. Next important question. Types of listeners, there will be definitely a question. Types of listeners, definitely there will be a question.
Superficial.
Yeah, all those superficial, non-listeners, attentive listeners, focused listeners. Okay, there will be definitely a question. Fake listeners, whatsoever. Next one, hard skills, soft skills, definitely there will be questions on this. What are hard skills? What are the examples? Explain those hard skills. What are soft skills? Give examples. Explain those soft skills. Definitely there will be a question on definitely hard skills and soft skills, because the syllabus is more and soft skills is of high demand nowadays. Now from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock today, I have a class for your seniors, for your brothers and sisters from computer science engineering, CSE. I'm teaching 6th semester CSE soft skills now. So today I'm going to teach them communication for 2 hours. Just imagine what is that I'm going to teach them for 2 hours on communication skills, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, exactly 2 hours. So it will be very in-depth, but it will cover most of your first year syllabus also. 5 elements of communication, barriers to communication, definitely there will be a question. Solutions to communication, definitely there will be a question on that. Important questions is what I'm saying. Then on speaking, there will be so many questions, so many. Essentials of effective speaking, write down. Essentials of effective speaking. There will be definitely a question on this. Barriers to speaking, solutions to speaking. Similarly, barriers to listening, solutions to listening. Be quick in writing, everybody. What are the barriers to communication skills? How to overcome these barriers to communication skills? So communication is of 2 types. I keep saying this in the classroom. Spoken communication, unwritten communication. Both are communication skills, mind you. It is not just spoken English. It is also written English that is communication. So what are the barriers? What are the solutions for that? Okay, so likewise, there are so many. How many important questions have I given you so far? How many important questions have I given you so far?
7, sir.
7.
Trisha, only 7, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you very sure?
Yes, sir. Word formation, communication skills, listening skills, hard skills, soft skills, essentials of effective listening, barriers of communication skills.
Essentials of effective speaking also.
Okay, sir.
Essentials of effective speaking.
Sir, types of listeners.
Types of listeners. So how many questions? That's what I'm asking.
9,
Sir,
sir.
about feedback, sender and receiver, sir.
Tell me total number of questions.
Up to now, 9, sir.
I think I have given you 9 questions, not 7 questions. You are giving me a wrong number. 9 questions. Okay,
Sir,
before
9, sir.
9. Am I right, Sudhendra?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, next important question is, what do you call? Speaking we have finished, listening we have finished. Effective listening boosters. Effective listening boosters. There is also a video of mine on this in YouTube. I have already given you. Please go and watch that video. Effective listening boosters. What are they? There are 8 steps to effective listening. All those 8 steps you should remember. Okay. Then what else do we have? Word formation we have finished. One word. Each area is important in this vocabulary. One word substitutes, there will be definitely a question. There are chances of one question. Idioms and phrases, definitely one question. What is that? Phrasal verbs, definitely one question. They will give you a few phrasal verbs. They will ask you to write the meaning of the phrasal verb, and they will also ask you to use that phrasal verb in your own sentence. Same thing, one word substitutes. Same thing, idioms and phrases. Same thing, the other areas. Word formation, definitely. Neologism, that, loan words, acronyms, derivation. Okay. All these steps, blending blending, there will be definitely a question on word formation. Word formation. So these are the important. How many questions do we have so far? 10 questions, sir?
14.
14 questions. Very good. Very good. So Sudhendra, please put it in the group. Tell everybody that these are the important questions. They must be ready with this. They should download the lecture notes, take a printout of the lecture notes, be prepared with this. Otherwise, they will fail in the examination. Tell everybody, make it clear to everybody. Trisha, Sudhendra, all those active people, please take some initiative. Srikanth, Achyut, all these people. Right, okay.
Question paper for how marks, sir? How many marks?
30 marks. Mid exam is for 30 marks. Semester exam is for 70 marks. You understand?
Questions, sir.
Huh?
Questions, number of questions, sir.
There will be internal choice. For example, in one question one, you have A and B. You are supposed to write any one of the questions. Likewise, you are given 5 questions.
Okay, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, 6 questions you are given.
6. Yes.
6 questions. Short answer is 2 marks. Long answer is 3 marks. Likewise, there are 6 questions. 6 into 5, 30 marks. Okay, but there will be internal choice. You understand what I say?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next one. Okay. So anarchist, ARCH, arc is ruling. Government, governance is arc. ARCH. When you say anarchy, that means there is no ruling. People say Andhra Pradesh has become another Bihar nowadays. They have been criticizing. I mean, to say the opposition party. A person who rejects the need for a system of government in society and proposes its abolition. That means for them, they don't want any law and order. Okay, so they don't believe in law and order. Such a place is called anarchist. Anarchy is prevailing in the state is what people say. What do they mean by anarchy? That means there is no law and order. There is no proper law and order in the state. People are looting the public. There is no safety and security to the public. There is no safety and security to a common man. That is called as anarchy. Right. Arbitrator. Somebody designated to hear both sides of a dispute and make a judgment. Such a person is called an arbitrator. That means this person, he listens to both the sides. Imagine person A, person B, both are fighting. Now this person goes in between as a mediator. Best example in your understandable words is mediator. He goes there as a mediator and he ensures that the dispute is properly solved between the two groups. He listens to both the sides and he gives them a judgment. Such a person is called as an arbitrator. Right.
So like a peacemaker, sir?
Like a exactly. Srikanta?
Yes.
Yes, peacemaker. That's the meaning of my name too, that is Solomon. Peacemaker. Exactly. So autocracy. Rule by one person who holds unlimited power. Autocrat, self, crat, ruling by one person. Dictatorship. For example, Hitler was an autocrat. He was a dictator in Germany. Okay, people speak so many things about him. So such ruling is called as autocracy. This is the opposite of democracy. Opposite of democracy. What is the meaning of democracy? What is the meaning of democracy?
People will have equal powers to question.
Exactly. By the people, for the people, of the people. According to Aristotle's definition. Aristotle defined democracy as government by the people, for the people, of the people. Prajala cheta, prajala koraku, prajala yokka. Right, next one. Next, one word substitute for our discussion is bibliophile. This bibliophile, we have already discussed this one word substitute. It comes from the word Bible. Biblio comes from the word Bible. Biblio meaning Bible or book. Phile meaning lover or love. Bibliophile is one who loves books is called as a bibliophile. The latest word, for example, neologism, new word that is born nowadays. Previous days, olden days, we used to have bookworms. Nowadays, we don't have any bookworms. We have webworms. What worms? What worms?
Webworms.
Webworms. Who are webworms?
Those who are interested in reading in websites.
Who always surf the internet, who always sit and surf the internet, surf Google, who spend most of their time on internet and World Wide Web. These people are known as webworms. Okay, that's the reason you see most of you are interested in reading an e-text when compared to hard copy. How many of you agree with me? Most of the students nowadays, they are interested in reading e-books, not hard copies. What are e-books? What are hard copies?
Papers are hard copies, sir. E-books in the sense we download and read it in laptops or computers, phone. PDFs.
E-books are electronic books. E-books are electronic books, meaning PDF files, Word files, all the soft copies are e-books. Whereas hard copies are your regular books, your textbooks, your other books, novels, magazines, whatsoever. So we have most of the webworms nowadays, not bookworms. That's the reason we call them as that. Right. Next word for our discussion is botany. The branch of biology dealing with plant life is botany. Bios is life, logos is study. So the branch of biology dealing with plant life is botany. Similarly, zoology is also the branch of biology dealing with animals is called as zoology. Because I come from the BPC background, BZC background, I would like to highlight my whatever subjects that I studied in my day, graduation level, at intermediate level, whatsoever. Right. Bilingual. Now, lingua is language, something to do with language. Bi is both, two. So bilingual, a person who speaks two languages. What is the opposite of that? Monolingual. Mono, single, lingual language. Single language is monolingual. Bilingual, monolingual. By the word, I have given another important word here that is called a polyglot. Poly meaning many. Glot is tongue. One who knows many tongues is a polyglot. Meaning, for example, P.V. Narasimha Rao, our former Prime Minister, he knows 14 languages is what people say. Not what people say, it is actually recorded, documented. So such a person is a polyglot. A person who knows many languages is a polyglot. Right. Belligerent. Nations engaged in war. Belligerent is used for people who are ready to fight anytime, ready to argue, ready to fight. Such people are known as belligerent people. Ready to wage war, ready to fight is the meaning of belligerent. Next one, biography. I've already told you these are all Greek words. Bios is life, graph is picture. So an account of somebody's life written by another person is a biography. For instance, if somebody writes about Sachin Tendulkar, that is the biography of Sachin Tendulkar. Imagine Sachin Tendulkar himself writes his own, life story.
Autobiography.
Then that will become his autobiography. Auto, self, bio, life, graph is picture, or his life story whatsoever. So these are the one-word substitutes that I wanted to discuss with all of you today. I think the rest of the slides I will definitely put in the group. Now again, you see somebody started making some other noise. Anyways, so there are so many other letters that are available here, like C, D, E, F, G. That means with each letter I've got one word substitute. Huh?
B letter also, sir, once.
Yes. Okay. So these are all, I don't say only these are important, but some of the important words is what I have taken beginning from letter A to Z. M, K, M, okay, N, O, P, okay, S, T, all these slides. I'll try to put it in the chat box. Tomorrow we don't have any class, but Saturday when we come back, in the afternoon we have got 2 hours. So we will try to discuss question bank most importantly. Important questions in all the 2.5 units that is important for our mid-examination, CAE 1. Then we will also see whatever is pending and we'll try to finish it up as early as possible. Trisha, please send those numbers. Is Trisha there?
Okay, sir. Yes,
Please forward those numbers.
Okay, sir.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.